good?
Yeah, I'm good. Welcome back to another episode of Two Drunk Guys and a Football Podcast. We're your hosts, Skinny Domestic.
And Marcus the Hammer Mary.
You know what I noticed?
What?
I've been saying I'm your host and not we're your host the last 30-some episodes, and no one has corrected me.
It's because they don't know.
And when I started editing, I noticed that. So
Really?
I need to start saying we're your hosts.
Wow. I'm the co-host.
Marcus is just here for the ride, all right?
True.
Well, another off, weird, exciting, I don't even know, week of the NFL. There's only FCS games and one Army-Navy game, which I think Army won that.
Weird to say the least in the NFL. I don't understand what was going on. It was like if Sunday was upset football and there was like only 3 teams that were probably favorited that actually won. It was really weird.
Yeah. I know I did bad on pick'ems.
Oh, so did I.
But to get us started, Marcus, this is the one week I don't have to ask you, did you watch any college football? Because there wasn't really anything to watch. So,
And I didn't.
I didn't either. You're fine.
I kind of watched a little bit of the Army Navy, but I was helping Bo and his parents move into their new house, so I was not really watching any college football. But I saw the Army and Navy. I saw whichever one threw an interception. I was like, "Oh, that's
one of the quarterbacks had. I think Army's quarterback had less than 100-yard passing or something. I did not watch the game, so that was not going to happen. Other college football news: the yearly awards have been released. Jaden Daniels is officially the Heisman.
Future Minnesota Viking quarterback Jaden Daniels.
I think every cute quarterback at this point
is future
Minnesota
Viking. Yeah.
If they trade up, if they wait, who knows? I think Michael Penix got robbed. I know Jaden had way more stats, but I think it comes down to winning too.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm surprised Michael Penix didn't win because I thought he was going to be by far the
he went undefeated. He beat Oregon twice, which that's already good. Like he beat a lot of beat ranked teams, and I know some of the games were very close, but what a Heisman player does. Pulls it out and wins the game for him, which he did on many occasions.
And he was very important to that Washington team.
So Jaden Daniels also, he had great stats this year. I think he led the league in total touchdowns, and like he's a dual threat guy. It's just some of those losses kind of, I think it should hurt you. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Bolitnikoff winner.
Yeah. And then Ollie Gordon from Ohio State won the running back.
What's the running back one?
I don't know. You know their award names. I don't.
I can't remember the running back ones. I played a lot of NCAA.
Bowers
won the John Mackey.
Yeah, look at you. And then shout out to Iowa. We had two awards given to Iowa. Iowa took away the Ray Guy Award with Torrey Taylor was the best punter, which when you punt for over 4,000 fucking in a season, I hope you're the best punter. And then the Broyles Award, Phil Parker, Iowa's best assistant coach, who got the best assistant coach of the year. Yeah, wasn't really anything crazy. I don't think there was any really real disputes besides the Heisman maybe that anybody cared about. But
I saw, who was it that declared for the draft? It was a quarterback.
Drake May.
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Yeah, people were kind of shocked because they thought he was going to come back.
I think he's the youngest out of all of them.
Really?
And he's he allegedly he has a good shot at being top 5, even number.
I have heard that.
Even going, I don't know. I don't think Caleb Williams or Drake May need. Out of all those quarterbacks, those two are not the best quarterbacks in the draft.
Like I said, I don't want a quarterback that paints his nails. So,
It's okay. It's not even the painting the nails part, though. It's just I think there are better quarterbacks that could go in the top 5 than Caleb Williams and Drake May.
I think it's the painting the nails thing for me. He kind of sucked this year.
Yeah, I think Bo Nix Penix
I do like the
and Jordan Travis are all three better options. I mean, Jordan Travis has his injury, so clearly his draft stock may fall a little bit.
Mhm.
But like Bo Nix and Penix Jr. are gonna should be the best quarterbacks in that draft class.
Yeah. Well, then
Caleb Williams has all the hype from 2 years ago.
I
Let
know,
that move on.
I know. I just it'll be weird to see what happens with this year's. And plus, do you think if Texas wins a championship, will Ewings go to the draft? Do you think?
I don't know. I think he might. I realistically for him, it might be smart to stay and then be like the
Donation.
number one quarterback coming into the next
Do you
year's
think
draft.
Archie Manning will stay then?
I think he's like talked about going to the transfer portal already.
Next quarterback for USC?
Yeah, we'll
Because
see.
they have what? Wait. Is it Lane Kiffin?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley, yeah. Yeah, that guy. Wait,
Well,
because he used to be the Ohio State, Nebraska.
you got colors close.
Oh, it's Oklahoma.
Yeah, there you go.
Oklahoma, because that's where, yeah.
Caleb
He was,
Williams was
yeah.
originally there. Yeah, dude. There's like, what's crazy is all the transfers this year. There's like over 1,000 players hit the transfer portal, and a lot of them are like starting quarterbacks.
It's
like
weird
the
that you don't
Ohio
have to
State
wait a year.
quarterback, the Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma,
Mhm.
the Oklahoma State guy. I can't think of his name. Like a lot of these teams that just had were top 25 teams.
Mhm.
A lot of their guys are leaving for other opportunities with other organizations.
It's weird that how long ago did they change that where you don't have to sacrifice a year of eligibility before you get, not a year of
It's been
eligibility.
within the last 5, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because, and Spencer Rattler's coming into the draft, isn't he too?
Yeah, he declared for the draft. He'll be
5th round pick.
or later. I mean, he's got the talent, but he kind of fell off a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But we'll just move on because there's not much else to talk about
Yeah.
in college football this past week. News.
Oh, there's a lot of, unfortunately, injury news. My first piece of news is Justin Herbert broke his finger in his throwing arm.
That man and his fingers.
He's like a less durable Kirk Cousins, dude.
But it's his fingers. That's the weird thing. It's just like
And ribs.
Well, yeah, but the ribs. He played through his ribs pretty much.
He gutted it out with that. That was pretty
yeah,
tough.
but the fingers. It's like, man, can't catch a break this year on fingers. I guess.
And then also with that, Joshua Palmer's coming off of IR, so he'll be back. That's good for what is it? Nick Easton is their backup.
Easton Stick.
Is it Easton Stick?
Yeah, he's pretty much a hockey stick. Easton.
Oh, Easton Stick. I think it's Nick Easton's first name. Ass, not very good. So
yeah. Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Fantasy value.
Hopefully, I play against Keenan Allen this week. So, next one, C.J. Stroud, concussion.
That one hurts me in 2 of my leagues.
He could come back though.
Yeah.
It's kind of iffy. I don't know. Chris Olave just recently came back from having a concussion. His was bad. Did you see once he got?
Yeah.
I thought he broke his neck. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
and he had a decent game. So
yeah. So
it's all about what the team is comfortable with and what you're comfortable with, I guess, with that. Because like Hunter Renfrow was out like 3 or 4 weeks last year with a concussion, but
what a weird guy to talk about too, Hunter Renfrow.
But then you have guys like Tua who almost died. So,
yeah, Tua's out for a long time too.
Yeah, it really comes down to what you're comfortable with in the team.
Nico Collins calf.
Again, that hurts me.
Yep. Nico's been really solid this year.
Well, and the question is if he's out, do they even bring in do you play Stroud knowing that your 2 best receivers are not playing?
Yeah.
Like, do you just all right, he's out, we're not going to play you this week, let you both rest up for the next week, don't play, take a week off, both of you, and then
I think you do. Do they have a playoff chance still?
I don't know what their record is.
But
Dude, right now, how bad the AFC is, who fucking knows?
Yeah, they could. Alexander Madison ankle. Just such a disappointing year for Alexander Madison as a whole. He's been running decent, but he hasn't been very, at least fantasy wise, he hasn't been that productive.
Yeah.
He just, I don't know, the Vikings offense as a whole.
Chandler to the moon.
Yeah, which means Chandler has in fantasy 8.5 points.
Oh yeah.
Josh Jacobs' knee hurt his knee against the Vikings. I think that they said it's a quad injury. I'd expect him to play, but you just never know. They have a really good matchup against the Chargers too. That I bet they'll divisional game that they'll run through.
They'll play. They'll play.
Next is Justin Jefferson chest injury.
He's day to day. I think at this point you just gotta
Sit him.
Put him up for the rest of the year.
Skinny's saying this because he's like, I don't want to play him this week. And
no, really, he's your best receiver. He's coming up on a contract year. You're gonna want to pay him somehow. Like you want him healthy. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to risk it.
Tyreek Hill ankle. I don't really know that much. He came back and played, but
yeah.
Who knows?
He'll play. He's gonna play. He'll play through it.
He had to really. I mean, he might not break 2K now though. He's got a long way to go.
It's like 400 or 500 yards in week 15, 16, 4 weeks. So he's got to go over 100 each week at least.
But you can. But if that ankle slows him down, who knows? We'll see.
Well, and they have some tougher matchups. I think at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. And last, but certainly not least, Nick Big Dick Mullins is the Viking starting quarterback.
I'm sorry.
He did good for San Francisco. You remember? Hey, George Kittle's best year was under Nick Mullins throwing the ball, and I hope you remember that too.
Hey, but that offense, that team is way different,
dude. I just don't get it.
Just throw the ball to Jordan Addison. JJ is going to be taking a rest. Just throw the ball to Jordan Addison, and everything will be okay.
Vikings.
Just throw the ball. That's all I want.
Hey, what did I say once Kirk got hurt? What did I say? And then I had people argue with me. The Vikings are going to limp their way into the playoffs, which we still could. Which we probably will. I think we're in right now.
Yeah, you guys are either in or like a half game out or something.
We're going to lip our game into the playoffs, get beat first round by like the shittiest NFC team, or I guess it'd be the best. Like we're going to get there and we're going to get smacked in the face by the 49ers like 52-8.
Well, they'll have a bye at this rate. You'd be playing.
You guys
right now, the
Cowboys.
Eagles would be playing the Bucks.
So probably the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys would smack us in the face, and then we're just going to like, oh, you know what? It's crazy. We got pick 18, 19, 20. Hoop, hoop, hooray. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's so dumb. Like, once I said before, once Kirk got hurt, play the rookie quarterback, see what you got. If we're good.
Well, perfect. They did, and then he got concussed, and then.
But they only played the rookie quarterback because Nick Mullins was hurt and Joshua Dobbs just started, so they didn't want to do that. Like, come on, dude. Like, Nick Mullins, like, let's be so for real. Let's be so for real. He's not bad, but, dude, he's a career backup quarterback. He's never going to be anything more than that. Same thing with Joshua Dobbs. Like, the Dobbernaut was fun. The Pastronaut was fun, but he is the Astronaut for sure. He's just...
And he got benched. When you get benched for Nick Mullins, you know it's
bad.
You got to start thinking about life.
I could have been living on cloud nine. We would have been losing games, but it would have been crazy because Jameis Winston would be thrown for 5,000 yards, and like every Minnesota Viking would just.
Or you guys lose the last couple of games that Dobbs won or whatever, and you guys are sitting in the top 10 for a draft pick for a quarterback instead. But
you know what? Whatever anyone says, I miss Kirk, dude. I miss him so much. Like this solidifies my love for Kirk Cousins.
You're gonna get a mantle, Kirk Cousins mantle down in your basement.
Next year I'm gonna get a fat head or something of Kirk Cousins. Just put it right behind my head. Just be like, please, Kirk, please come back.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know what if Kirk's on the Twitter or the X or the Insta or whatever he's on. I'm gonna have to be like at Kirk Cousins. Marcus Mary is your biggest fan. Please come on our podcast.
He might, dude. He's a nice guy.
From a father to another father.
Yeah, from a father to another father. You're a family man, unlike Jalen fucking Hurts.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so scores of the week. Uh, we had some shockers.
A lot of shockers.
One of the big shockers was the Jets beat the Texans 30-6.
Offense looked good too.
Yeah, the offense looked good. Their defense looked good. Nico Collins and Stroud got hurt, but Stroud wasn't doing much against that defense. Zach Wilson had 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like
He elevated everyone on that team,
Yeah.
and Garrett Wilson over 100 yards. It's almost like it's like Zach Wilson, which I listened to. Did you listen to Rodgers on Pat McAfee?
No.
Dude, people hate Rodgers. Rodgers is awesome,
Oh
dude.
gosh.
He said a lot of base stuff. Like he was talking about, like he like went there and like he said he was talking about liberty and stuff like that. I was like, nice, Rodgers.
Oh jeez.
But he basically said it was all bullshit. That they're saying that Zach Wilson didn't want to play. He's like, that never happened. He's like, I've been in this locker room. He's never said that. He's like, someone opened their mouth in there so that they could get talked about better in the thing. He said it happened in Green Bay all the time, that players they'd be in the injury room and someone would be like, oh, I hurt my knee, and then he said literally 2 minutes later it'd be on the thing like, well, I didn't say it, so there was this person. So like he said, it's a really big deal in the NFL that happens, because it's sources say.
Yeah.
Rodgers like, be a man and say who said it then. So Rodgers was pissed. I don't know. It was funny though.
That is funny.
And then he was talking about medical tyranny, and he's like, I don't know. That's why he said the like liberty stuff. He just went off, dude. It was hilarious. You gotta watch it. It's
Okay.
like a 45-minute segment, but it was funny.
I'll watch it. I usually catch some of those clips, but yeah, Zach Wilson. Or it's just more of he did say it and nobody wants to admit it, and this was just like a fuck you to the Jets. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't need to bench me, and it wasn't just him being the problem.
No.
Another crazy one is the Bears upsetting the Lions 28-13. Jared Goff had two interceptions, and then Fields had 2 total touchdowns and 223 passing.
You know what it seems like to me? Jared Goff is not going to get paid
Yeah, the last 2 weeks he has been awful.
since Thanksgiving.
Awful. So we'll see if that bounces. I think he bounces back, but
Probably, yeah.
he has not looked good.
Mm-mm.
Then we had the 2 Monday night games
Yep.
that were shockers.
Terrible. I didn't like any of them.
Dolphins lose to the Titans, which Will Levis, man, he came out and played. He was throwing some deep shots. They were connected on those deep shots. He handed the Dolphins 6 points, through that bad pick. But
you think if you're a Titans fan, do you think you roll with Will Levis into next year?
I would. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, he's decent.
Just you drafted him for a reason, and he's proven that he can play. Just give him.
You got to keep D Hop though, I think, because he's really good for the development.
You either keep D Hop or you get one of the Mike Evans, some of those actual top tier guys. The other talk is they might trade Derrick Henry, which would be smart if you can at this point in his, with his age and stuff. I think, especially with Will Levis, a guy that probably can throw the ball better than Ryan Tannehill in
I'd say so, yeah.
It opens up your actual offense. Get rid of Derrick Henry. Go get a dual threat guy, Alvin Kamara.
You have a guy in your team.
Well, you have Spears too.
Yeah, Spears I think is serviceable, and he doesn't have a lot of time. He got like a knee surgery in college, so like run him because he probably has a 5-year window.
Yeah.
Before.
So, and then Tua, when Hill went out, looked like a deer in headlights. Was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was bad.
Didn't know what to do. Like
the fact that they lost that
mode.
game is crazy.
Yeah.
They should not have lost that game.
No, they shouldn't have. And then the Packers lose to the Giants, which
Jordan Love came down to earth. Did not look good. Did not look good at all. And with a good matchup too. But that Giants defense was supposed to be good on paper. So
and they've been playing better. And DeVito, he's moving the ball up and down all these backup quarterbacks coming in and having some type of success has actually
Yeah,
been pretty impressive this year.
it has. I mean, there would be an argument in my mind. They never do it because they can't because I have too much into Danny Dimes. DeVito might have a higher upside than Danny
Yeah,
Dimes
what
for
do
the
you do with
money.
the $40 million a year though? You're not going to keep him on your
I
bench.
couldn't believe they
Yeah.
did that, man. I don't know what they were thinking of. They were higher than a kite in a division like that. Ugh.
Yeah. The Cowboys Eagles 33-13. Eagles had 3 turnovers.
What? What was that?
Three turnovers.
Yeah.
That's I was looking at it like our turnovers or like all that stuff, like the key like our key like offensive like mishaps or whatever. If you calculate the 3 turnovers and then the 2 dropped touchdown passes by AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, that's anywhere from 19 to 35 total points that you leave off the board because of those mishaps.
Sorry, Skinny.
I made a tweet about it. I said it 14 weeks of hearing this. They're all correctable things. It's not like it's not correctable. It's not like a fumble is not correctable. It's like hold on to the ball.
Skinny. First of all,
Our play calling.
what have I said all year? I said Jalen Hurts is the best running quarterback, but he can't pass that well. Once you force the man to pass,
But that's
he's
not what
that
killed.
good.
But that's not what lost us the game.
Oh, and I want to say this. God, I've been waiting for this
what
all
lost
week.
us the game?
Jalen Hurts being ass.
But Jalen Hurts fumbling the ball on a run.
You know what, Skinny? Remember when you used to
talk, and our defense.
Remember when you talked crap about Kirk Cousins throwing the short route on 4th down?
Yeah.
I watched Jalen Hurts do the same thing.
Because that's what the play call is. It doesn't make any sense.
Jalen Hurts, here's the thing. I heard it best. The Eagles are not as good as the record.
Yeah, I would agree. You want to know why? Because our coordinators are ass. They took over. Yes, our defense this year has been
terrible
compared to last year, and we have literally
and it shouldn't be terrible.
Exactly. Our scheming has been terrible.
To be fair, defense is. I've said this for a lot of years. Defense has a lot to do with how you're gelling, and like if you're well coached and well motivated. Like the Vikings defense is nowhere near as talented as the Eagles defense, but the Vikings defense is like Brian Flores got them playing
exactly.
good.
Your coordinator takes a heavy heart on that.
But your offense,
our offense has been bad. Like the play calling's bad. You have the thing that I like that gets me is the Cowboys. You have CeeDee Lamb. You scheme to get him open. The Dolphins have Tyreek Hill. You scheme to get him open. You want to know what the Eagles do? You're going to literally for AJ Brown to be open. It's all right. We're going to put you on the outside and play 1-on-1. They had him in the slot. It was like a 3rd and 6. I was so livid at this. You had him in the slot on like a linebacker or something, and they ran him on like a go route. What are you doing? The middle of the field is wide open.
Yeah, but AJ Brown can literally only run 2 routes, dude. Like I literally have only seen him run 2 routes really good. It's a go route and a slant. Like that's limited to that.
Run a slant.
You know what? He's probably he's probably
against the linebacker, dude.
Here's the thing. He runs a damn good go route and a damn good slant, but that's all he can run.
I know, but it's just it's shit like that where they're not like he's your best wide receiver. You have literally the best match. If the Cowboys, if the Dolphins, if the Raiders, like if you have a guy like that to be able to run that slant and get the first down, fucking call it, goddammit. Don't fucking send him on a go route where the safety is going to help.
Well, I would say right now the 49ers are the best team in the NFL.
And it's going to be another week of the Eagles. Oh, we're going to correct our fixes.
No, I hope that they run the piss out of the ball.
They fucking do. Well, the other one too is the last 3 games. Swift has a total of 9 carries in the first half.
Yeah, I know it's stupid. Like that, I don't get what that team's doing. Like I said, Nick Sirianni has the most punchable face Um,
I
I
don't know what's going on,
my
but
my hatred for the Eagles comes just more than just wanting to mess with you. Like I swear, like Nick Sirianni is a douche. Like he just looks like a douche, and he's like 93% of the time. Like once he says everything, I'm just like I hate him. I hate him.
and then lastly, your Vikings win 3-0 in the very exciting game of the week.
Dude, it was kind of crazy.
Didn't score a field goal until less than 2 minutes left in the game.
Yep.
And then your defense gets a pick, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ivan Pace Jr. got the pick and then did a backflip. But dude, do you see their cake stand
Yeah,
celebration?
that was
That was a plus performance right there. That was awesome.
I was impressed with it,
It's
but
funny too because right after I forgot to put that in news. Our defensive coordinator got a DUI.
no, before. It was the night before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he got a
So it's hilarious.
DUI.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
It's
dude.
hilarious.
That's freaking cool. But yeah, no, it was a terrible game. JJ got hurt. Everyone got Madison got
Dobbs got
hurt.
benched.
Dobbs got benched. Nick Mullins came out there, didn't care, just slinging the ball. Like I said, we're gonna limp into the freaking playoffs, or we're gonna be so close it's gonna be uncomfortable. Let's just suck this year and be good the rest. But who knows?
Yeah. All right.
Ooh.
Quarter two, getting started off with some bad betting, which last week it was bad betting. We went 1 for 3. On the year, we're 32-24 now. So, not a good week.
No, it was a bad week in general.
This week, Marcus didn't help me make the picks, so these are all mine. We'll see if Marcus agrees with these or not. I did Steelers versus Colts. I have the Colts covering -2.5 against the Steelers. I think if Pickett doesn't come back, especially Trubisky look like ass. So I'll take Gardner Minshew, who's looked pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Winning at least by 3. Pats versus Chiefs. I have the Chiefs covering 9.5 against the Pats. 2 bad losses. Your offenses,
Yeah, they need a win.
Yeah, you need not even just a win, a statement win to be like, hey, we're still the Chiefs. They're gonna run up the score.
And you got to piss off Patty Mahomes. Pissed off Patty Mahomes.
I think they exceed the 10 plus against the Pats. Next one I have is the Seahawks versus Eagles. I think again, like the Chiefs, this is a statement game for the Eagles to be like, hey, like they have to win out to potentially win the
Division,
to win the division, get that number 2 seed.
They have an easy path to win it too.
They do. The Seahawks, I'd say, is the tougher of the last 4 games for them. And I mean, the Seahawks did give the Cowboys a run, and they, for part of the game with Drew Lock playing against the Niners, they were,
they're scrappy.
Yeah, they're scrappy and competitive. But the Eagles need to
possibly no DK, right?
Yeah, potentially.
Because he got kicked out.
Yeah,
Did
he might
fight?
get. Yeah, so there's a pick. He was tackling Fred Warner, and as he tackled Fred Warner handed the ball off to a defender, so the defender took it, and DK finished his tackle. And after he tackled him, he pretty much suplexed Fred Warner. But I mean, and then as they were getting up, Fred Warner came behind him and pushed him from the back, which I don't know how that didn't get called for one. And then it was just a scrappy, they got into it, helmet, like that type of shit. So, he might get suspended a game. Who knows? We'll see. I fully expect now. There was many non-coach. There was many non-NFL players on the field during that scrap, touching players. So we'll see. Really? Not like. I mean, touching players as in trying to break up the fights, right?
Yeah.
There was more than just the refs doing it. But yet, the Eagles in the 49ers game, our head of security, the Eagles head of security guy, breaks up, stands in between Greenlaw and Smith to break up that extravaganza, and he gets banned from the sidelines. So NFL better freaking hold themselves accountable, and every other person that wasn't an NFL ref gets banned from the 49ers sideline for getting involved in a big old scuffle. It's such bullshit.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
it's a fight. People got to step in,
Yeah.
get people out, like whatever.
Not no fun league is what
Yeah.
it stands for.
But Eagles statement game, and then um, yeah, I don't know who's going to be quarterback. Gino might be back. Who knows? And then I am taking for the Panthers versus Falcons game. I'm doing the Falcons -3.
Oh, you think the Falcons are gonna win?
Yeah,
I actually took the Falcons too. The only one that I didn't take, I just have a feeling that the Steelers, because I feel like they disappoint so much, but I could see it the other way. I was like,
I think
eh.
I have the Colts winning by at least 3 or more.
Mm.
But yeah, I right now with that 10. If you parlay all those picks together, a $10 parlay would win you 114.75. Again, when you hear this on Thursday, odds might be changed a little bit, and then if you place it, or whenever you place it, or if you even do, I don't even know if people are even placing these bets. I don't know, but
I would guess no.
probably not. Some of them, hey, some of them are good.
No.
But with the rest of the quarter, we're gonna talk some MVP.
You talk some MVP.
I mean, we can talk about other things too, clearly, but the question this year is, should the MVP? I mean, there's a lot of questions every year.
Yeah.
Other players should deserve, but this year I feel like is a year that a quarterback, right now, as of right now,
Mm-hmm.
does not deserve to be the MVP.
1,000%. 1,000%. I mean, if you're gonna talk about quarterbacks, who it should be, you gotta probably break it down to Dak Prescott and
I'd have Dak,
Brock Purdy.
Purdy.
That's it. That's the list.
I'd probably throw Lamar up there at this point too, just because of what he's done in the AFC. But I mean the stats
kind of suck.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you're going strictly quarterbacks, you have to have quarterbacks that are winning games, and usually that means even if it's not pretty.
Lamar means more to his team than I think
Yeah.
Dak or Brock Purdy
Yeah.
mean to the
Yeah.
49ers or the
Like
Cowboys.
usually we have a quarterback when they're winning, or a quarterback that's leading the MVP. It's like they're leading exponentially in total touchdowns or passing touchdowns, or they have a bunch of yards, they have little interceptions, and like Dak's probably at this point I would probably say Dak is the front runner just based off of earlier. My big one was, who has he beat? He hadn't beat anybody. He's beaten the Seahawks and the Eagles at this point. He's got 2 wins over playoff teams.
Yeah.
At this point. So I'd say he's probably the front runner compared to, I would think, at least over Purdy, just because Purdy's not the MVP on that team itself.
Purdy is the definition of a system quarterback. I saw Trent Williams be like, "Yeah, Brock Purdy is not a system quarterback," and I started laughing. He's like, "Anyone that thinks they do need to watch film."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Dude, are you stupid?" I was like, Jimmy Garoppolo had really good numbers there. And literally every other quarterback that has played for them, besides 2 quarterbacks, and that's the Jags backup quarterback. I can't think of his name. That just played.
Beathard.
Yeah, CJ Beathard had terrible numbers, and then so did Trey Lance. Everyone else has done pretty decent. Nick Mullins had a good run there. Jimmy Garoppolo had a good run there. Brock Purdy, the Mr. Irrelevant, had a good run there. Like, I don't know. I feel like that is a system team. Like, that's literally a team that, like, you want, like, a Kirk Cousins to be your quarterback because you're like, oh, wow, he does really good.
Yeah.
And he can do a little more than Brock Purdy.
Yeah. I think the person that truly deserves it at this rate is Tyreek. I mean,
I think CMC, man.
See, if Tyreek gets the 2,000 yards, 100% deserves it. Because my biggest thing is you can't have Tyreek be MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. You know, clearly you're going to do different awards. So, like, right now, I would have Tyreek MVP if he gets to the 2,000. I mean, if he breaks the record, fully, because right now no quarterback's doing anything that's like, hey, you're
No,
MVP
but
level.
they gave it to Mahomes last year, and it
Yeah,
probably should have been JJ.
yeah. And then offensive player of the year should go to CMC.
CMC.
I think this year it's like man,
Who's your comeback player of the year? And if you say what's his face, I'll
dude,
be
it's
pissed.
Damar Hamlin. There's
No,
literally
no,
nobody else.
no.
Man almost died. I don't care what you say. Man almost died and was able to play football again. That's crazy.
I'm really not that impressed.
That must not understand how medically crazy. That's crazier than fucking Aaron Rodgers coming back from his Achilles so fucking soon, like walking and doing all that shit. Dying, like your heart stopped and like you weren't breathing, like you were dead, pretty much almost dead.
He's played like
I don't give a shit.
a game.
I do.
I don't think he deserves it. I really don't. I think the NFL. Yes, he win it. Yes, I don't think he deserves
Alex
it.
Smith almost lost his leg. Almost lost his leg.
He came back and played most of the year.
He still he came back. He almost lost his leg and played. So dying, I think, is more than
for a backup safety, a third string safety.
It doesn't. Comeback player of the year isn't star that comes back and plays. It's
someone who came back and
he did play. He literally played football snaps.
They put him in one game so he could win that.
He played snaps. I don't care.
Yeah,
he played.
I disagree with that. I think that's overrated.
If I almost died, I wouldn't ever fully expect me to ever be able to play football again.
I don't know.
Who do you have actually winning it?
I can't think of someone off the top of my head, but anyone but Damar Hamlin.
I'd probably say
Calvin Ridley.
I mean, maybe Breece Hall.
I wouldn't say Breece Hall. Here's the reason.
Who's his competition? Tua?
Yeah, I would say Tua over.
Russ would be one just because he had a bad. Not an
I would
injury,
say
but
Russ. Russ is a good one.
Tua. I'd say I'd throw Breece in there just because he had a major injury that ended his season last year.
Maybe Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I guess Calvin Ridley technically qualifies for comeback player,
and he's had an okay season. He's had a good season.
I can't think of anything else.
I'd say Russ. Russ has been actually really good this year.
Russ probably deserves it, but just like FSU, they deserve to be. It doesn't mean they're gonna get it. They didn't get it.
Jim Harbaugh was like, I just feel like FSU should make it in there because they're 12-0 and Alabama took a loss. And
well, yeah, who would you rather play, a potential third string quarterback in the first?
I'd rather play
Alabama, who is hot.
I'd rather play FSU. I would want to play it. I never would want to play Bama.
Bama maybe in the first 2-3 weeks of the season, sure. Bama as of lately, I don't want to touch it.
Yeah,
because I think Michigan. Did you see the video of when they announced like the Bama being number 4? Like Michigan's locker room or wherever facility they were in, they were not pleased.
Yeah. I can't believe they put Bama in still, kind of.
Dude, their best... Literally, Michigan was sitting there banking on FSU. They're like, please no Bama, please no Georgia, please no Bama, please no Georgia. We'll settle for FSU.
Well, you can't put Georgia in after they lose to...
I know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, that out of those 3 teams, go play the...
They want to be in the SEC, so... Good luck. Or no, I guess Michigan didn't. That's Texas that won.
Yeah, Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, gross. MVP though. MVP. My MVP this year, CMC.
Right now, CMC, Tyreek. Tua would have, like you said last night, made a strong case why Tua should not be MVP.
Mm-hmm. Other topics. Um, are the Chiefs still a Super Bowl contender right now? After
Yes. I can't count them out.
it's Patrick Mahomes, that's why you can't. But there's an argument.
They're Let's look at the AFC. They played the Bills tight, who the Bills have had their up and downs. You have the Ravens, who you never know what you're going to get on that offense, pretty much.
The Dolphins
You have the Dolphins, which again,
up and down.
you should be destroying
You know what's
teams, but
funny? Why do I feel like the toughest team to beat in the AFC right now is the Broncos?
because everybody's clicking on everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's clicking on all cylinders. You have the Jaguars, who the Chiefs already beat. You have who they have been like. No team stands out to me, so
No.
that's the only reason why I'm saying like at least in the NFC you have the 49ers, who are probably not probably, but they're clearly the best team in the NFC.
Oh yeah.
The AFC, you don't really have that this year. You
No,
don't have this is the one team. So Andy Reid, one of the greatest coaches to ever do it.
Oh, 100%.
You have Patty Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. Your defense at the beginning of the year played well.
Mm-hmm.
They can play well, and then that offense, it's gonna as you get closer to these, it's gonna come around. I wouldn't want to play them at home
No,
in a playoff game.
probably not. No, it's just bad because last year Patty Mahomes really got it going with nothing. This year he's struggling, and Travis Kelce hasn't been the same. Really, the only person that really looks good on the offense is Rashid Rice, and Isaiah Pacheco's looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Yeah, I agree. I think they're still a Super Bowl caliber team.
I do think they have a number one receiver in Rashid Rice. He is actually really good.
Yeah. I don't. Nobody in the AFC stands out to me like that. As of right now. So
All right, I got another good one for you. Shout out to Lil Austin. Is Mike Tomlin's time as a Steeler up after this year? He has not made the playoffs since 2016. I keep hearing, winning record. He's never had a losing record. Because you've never had a losing record doesn't mean that you're making the playoffs.
You're going 9-8 every year or whatever. Yeah. I can strongly see it.
I don't think it'll happen, but it probably should at this point because they've been mediocre. 2016. We're talking about almost 10 years now.
I think the biggest thing for like coaches like him and like Bill Belichick is, even though they're going through a bad time, it's like, one, look at what the rosters are not. Okay, the Steelers probably have a better overall roster than I don't know. Yeah.
The Steelers have talent.
Healthy. The Pats defense is super good. I guess that's where I'm like, but then like you've been dealing with Mac Jones. Your offense isn't clicking. You also have to think like they're both defensive coaches, which that's usually what's the best thing for them, while their offense is the issue.
And the Steelers defense is good, but like the mismanagement of like Najee Harris, like the fact that people just act like he's a bum, like he was a really good running back.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know like how much input because Tomlin's been there forever, like how much true input is he with the offensive play calls? Is he is he some head coaches let the coordinator do it 100%.
I mean, how bad that offense is. Najee Harris, I still think is a good running back. I just feel like very mismanaged as a player. You got Najee, you have Deontay Johnson, who's like one of the best route runners in the NFL. You have George Pickens, who is a very good up and coming wide receiver. You have Pat Freiermuth, who is a stud at tight end. He's solid. And you take it back, they have that one guy. Who's that wide receiver that they drafted this year? Another one that looks like it. I can't think of his name, but he looks like he's going to be pretty decent.
Well, they also have like 6'8" Darnell Washington at tight end.
Yeah, they got Darnell Washington. I can't think. They drafted a receiver this year that I'm like, oh man, like it's like kind of like a not George Pickens, but like a kind of a big name, you know, fell in the draft a little bit. Wide receiver, I can't think of his
Was it
name.
Austin? The
Yeah, Calvin Austin.
Calvin Austin the third.
Yeah, Calvin Austin the third. Like there was talent on that offense. The offensive line should have gotten better. They just
Pickett was disappointing.
yeah. You spent a first round pick on Pickett. Pickett sucks
Yep.
ass. Like
Then you have Trish Bisky as your backup, who did not play well at all, even though they started to come back a little bit.
kept
But
Matt Canada way too long.
my Tomlin isn't going to go anywhere. I just don't see it.
But he probably should get fired. Is the thing
Because
He
like the
probably
other one
should.
too is like teams like this, you look at your options. It's like, let's look at the current coaching market. What coaches are going to be available that
Will make that team better.
that'll be better than what Tomlin has been or is? Like, there's not many coaches that I would say, damn, he could easily go in and be better instantly. Or
Yeah, but we're talking about Steelers football. Like if you're into mediocrity, that's what this team has always
yeah,
been. They've just been okay.
it's like, do you go in? It's like Ron Rivera. Like, oh yeah, Ron Rivera is probably going to be available. Do I
No,
rather have
probably
him?
not. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say it for him. If you had a hot like if you had someone like a hot name like a Eric Bieniemy, who I think is
yeah. But again, Slim Pickens. What if he
yeah,
chooses where he goes? He doesn't want to go to Pittsburgh. Then you fired your head coach for nothing. So
that's fair. Um, next one, I just want to say this. You see Puka Nakua catch with no gloves? Dude is like a 2005 wide receiver, dude. Not wearing any gloves. That catch was crazy, dude. I love Puka. Puka is a stud, and that was an impressive game by the Rams. I just wanted to say something about that because they deserve the love for that. They did really good.
yeah, he's making some pretty crazy good catches, and he was one of the guys on my spotlight to have a good season. I said he was going to go over 480 some yards.
He's got to be pretty close to 1,000 now.
He's got to be close to 1,000, if not over.
Yeah, he's a steal for sure. What else do I have here? Is Joe Flacco a better starter than Deshaun Watson for the Browns?
Oh yeah,
You think going forward, Joe Flacco should be the guy? If he
for the
would,
rest of the year, yeah.
what about in the next?
Well, the problem is you run into the same problem the Giants have. Is you paying this
Money
guy all
talks,
the
yeah.
money, you're not going to let him sit on the bench.
But Deshaun Watson might have more of a market to deal around
With that contract now, nope.
bad contract, yes, but he's got a little bit of more name value than Danny Dimes
Yeah,
does.
I don't know. I like Joe Flacco. The way he balled out the last two games, that's what they needed. They needed a consistent quarterback play that was going to help them win games. They moved him back down to the practice squad, but I know they're going to sign him. For the there's no way you don't at this point.
True.
There's no way you don't.
I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Sean Payton or D'Amico Ryan for Coach of the Year?
I think D'Amico Ryan.
Over Sean?
Sean's doing it with a veteran quarterback. D'Amico Ryan is a rookie head coach with rookie quarterback, rookie two young ass wide receivers, and nobody expected their defense to be like
as good as
it has been, and he's turned that team
around. Ooh, that's a toss up for me. I like D'Amico Ryan a lot. I want to say Sean Payton, just because I feel like it's kind of impressive what he's done compared to what they were the year following. Russ is like low key good.
Russ is showing us that he is.
He revived Cortland Sutton, Jerry Judy's ass, and will always be ass.
Dude, Jerry Judy had so many drops, and it's crazy.
Dude, I know. I kept watching it every single time. Deep shot. And you know what happens? One deep shot to Cortland Sutton, touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, it's like crazy.
Here's one for you. You like this. Brian Flores their Vikings defense has allowed 1 touchdown in the last 12 quarters.
Yep, I've seen that.
Turning a mediocre defense into a top 10, I'd say. I know.
Let me tell you, I want KOC fired, and I want Brian Flores. And maybe it's me, like I'm like, like recency, like, oh, the Vikings suck. Like I know Brian Flores is just Black Mike Zimmer, younger Black Mike Zimmer.
Once he gets in the head coach position, it just.
But damn it, I want it. I miss having a good defense. I miss seeing Xavier Rhodes Day. I miss prime Harrison Smith, prime Everson Griffin. Dalvin Cook gave me a gun. You know that? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Dalvin Cook gave me this gun. I miss
Anthony Barr. You miss.
Yeah, I miss Anthony Barr. I miss Eric Kendricks. I miss. Who else was on that defense that was crazy? I miss Linval Joseph. Linval Joseph was a shit. I miss the beginning of Mike Zimmer. We had Chad Greenway still, like Brian Robinson. All these players that I just miss good defensive football, and then we'd lose to like Seattle by a missed field goal. Like, that's what happens. I want the Vikings to be tough. I feel like the Vikings have kind of, not that they're diva-ish, and KFC's done an okay job, but like it's just like I don't think Justin Jefferson's a diva. Like I was kind of worried he'd turn into that. He's not really. I just miss hard, gritty football that we played, but it just isn't there anymore.
No, it's not. Brian Flores is the answer.
He is the answer. He guesses.
All right, it's time for fantasy.
Fantasy.
This week, we're gonna do 3 top performers, 3 bottom performers, and then get into fantasy MVP talks. Who we currently have for the regular season, because I guess it's playoffs this upcoming week. So regular season fantasy MVP. Who we kind of have in those. I did top 5, but whatever who we kind of have in there.
Yeah.
So to get us started off, big game. Made the smart decision and started him with the boy Zeke.
I started him too.
He didn't do much on the ground. 68 rushing yards. Didn't have a good average per carry, but he had 7 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Had 26 points. It's crazy seeing Zeke used in the pass game. 7 catches. That's a lot for Zeke.
Dude, he was always good.
I know,
always good.
But like, he wasn't one of those guys that was used in the passing game. So
he was at Dallas.
Okay, but like,
I mean, do you remember once I took Zeke first overall? I know about some Zeke. Oh, yeah, let me tell you.
Yeah, but he wasn't getting 7 catches a game. Like 7 catches.
He was getting a decent amount. I'm telling you, dude.
Big game.
Zeke before Tony, dude, Zeke got a lot of passes.
Leave Stevenson away. Stevenson can just stay hurt.
Hey, I got Zeke. I don't give a shit. I'll take that 100%. I have Stevenson too, but yeah, Zeke was awesome. He had a really good game. 26 points. It really helped. I mean, if you came into Thursday night, started him, and you're like, I'm just gonna take a dart throw. It's a bad matchup. They can't really run against the Steelers. You woke up if you didn't, because I didn't watch that game. Hell no, I wasn't going to watch that game.
I watched it just to see what Zeke did.
I saw the highlights of it. I was like, oh, Zeke looked decent. And then he tackled the guy once Zappy threw the pick or whatever.
Yeah, he chased him down. Yeah,
Zeke's just quick. He's faster and fast. He looked good. I mean, he is by far the best player on that offense, probably, but he looked good. My great performance is Breece Hall, dude. You know what's crazy? I think it's like 4 or 5 of the last weeks. Breece Hall has rushed for under 50 rushing yards, but he's still averaging 15 fantasy points. Like he's been, for where people draft him, for how scared people was, he's been a good draft pick this year. He had 40 rushing yards. 8 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown, 26 fantasy points.
Those catches,
they add up. It's the same philosophy of the Austin Eckler, especially because
Yeah,
ESPN standards, PPR, points per reception. Um, dude was a stud. I mean, big part of that game was, I mean, the first half, they got him at the first half, but the second half, Brees Hall's been good. Brees Hall, I legitimately think, is a very good running back. I just think he's on a bad offense.
yeah. Well, the other one, Dalvin isn't doing what people thought he was going to do, is take touches away
But I
and
said
stuff.
it. I said it on here. I didn't think Dalvin was really going to do that much there, and Dalvin looks terrible.
Yeah. Another guy I have on my team, but I didn't play him because you never know when to play this guy. Drake London, 10 catches, 172 yards, and he had a 2-point conversion. With that, he had a total of 29 points. And I'm skeptical if Nico Collins is out. Do I play him? Because this upcoming week he's going to drop 2 points.
The answer is no.
He's one of those guys I have on my team that's like, if I absolutely have to play you, I'll play you, but I'm not.
And the week that you play him, because he's not like Calvin Ridley, you can be like, you got a 50-50 shot. Like they're legitimately,
Yeah,
Calvin Ridley's a 50-50 shot where he's going to score 8 points or 28 points. Like it's just, there's no in between for him. It's not like Calvin Ridley, I swear to God, doesn't score 15 points. Like he doesn't.
yeah.
Drake London, there's probably like a 25% chance something might happen. Well, probably less than that. It's probably like
It's
a
really
10.
like 25% chance of him going over 10 points. And then,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, the last couple games he's been going off, like he's been their leading receiver and stuff, but like, I don't trust it.
I mean,
Don't trust it.
I watched that
The
whole
only
game.
thing I trust in the Arthur Smith offense right now is Bijan Robinson. That is
And
it.
that's kind of like, do you really though?
Yeah,
Do you
exactly.
really like? I do, but like I'm like I play him and I'm like I love you, Bijan. Like I I love watching him, but it's like,
yeah,
but I think if you can take anything from it, this is gonna be controversial because he had a lot of points. Desmond Ritter fucking sucks. He's terrible. Like I watched him miss a wide open Bijan, and I knew what they were doing,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, like he just can't hit the stuff. Like the Falcons, the best thing, and I want to manifest this. I want the Bears to be dumb. I want them to trade Justin Fields to the Falcons. I think that you could do that and fire Arthur Smith. If you fire Arthur Smith, everyone's gonna. I'll be happy. You don't have to hear about Bijan every week. You don't have to be. You'll hear about Bijan because it'll be RB1 on the year, but you don't have to worry about me bitching about Bijan not getting it. I think if you take Justin Fields, trade him, and you could trade him for a second round pick. I bet they'd give it second or first round pick. You could probably get
Probably.
that level out of him. I feel like that team would be nasty, dude. Because he's good enough to like. I mean, he's feeding.
Dude, you know what I'd be doing
But,
if I had Justin Fields and Bijan? I'd be running the fucking option play.
oh, every time.
Bringing the triple option every now and then. Like fuck, dude. I'd be bringing some fucking old school college
They
football
be they
shit into
be
that.
they be running the wishbone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There
they
we
could.
go.
Yeah, no, it'd be crazy. Oh, you just went, huh?
Yeah.
Um, my next one, Skinny said he might be the MVP. I don't know if I'd go that far, but Lamar Jackson, 316 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 70 rushing yards, 34 points. Lamar had a day. That was a really good game. The Cooper Cup looked like Cooper Cup again. Possibly might talk about him today. We'll see.
We'll see.
Puka Nakua was doing crazy, and then the Ravens were just like doing
Yeah.
everything.
And
OBJ had a good game. Flowers
Lamar
had a
could
good
have had
game.
more points. Should have had more points
Yeah.
because the game shouldn't have been over. Should have been called for a block in the back, make Lamar have to play more football.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, the Ravens got away with a
Well,
block
he
in the
does that.
back.
He throws a pick, and then -2 probably. But also Isaiah Likely. I mean, he's kind of fringe tight end, like
Yeah. If you need a tight end, absolutely need a tight end.
Oh yeah, he's a dart thrower. He gets Mark Andrews volume, just not Mark Andrews
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah. Speaking of tight ends, we can go with Evan Ingram. Had 11 catches, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
For a total of 32 fantasy points.
You know how many that is on the year? That's Trace. because he scored one last week, and that was his first touchdown this year.
Oh, so he's got 3 on the season.
Mm-hmm.
He's starting to come alive in the past game. Christian Kirk goes down. You don't got him. Lean to your guy that this is what he should have been with the Giants, but
Mm-hmm. And then you just see Calvin Ridley like drop like a pass or it's overthrown. Like he gets so many targets, is insane. Like it's just they just don't hit.
yeah.
And Evan Ingram's just a dog and just catches them all and gets the underneath stuff. And
Yeah, I think he had 12 total targets, so only one either drop, overthrow, whatever.
yeah,
Pass broken up.
dog. My next one is David Njoku. Went off. 6 catches, 97 yards, 1 touchdown, 27 points.
I hate Joe Flacco.
Dude, so good, man. So
He
good.
was wide open on both of his touchdowns or one of his touchdowns. Wide the fuck open. Like nobody was like, "Hey, we got to cover David Njoku."
Njoku's like crazy fast and crazy athletic. And
Yeah.
like he's been like for a couple years. He's been in the league for a while. He's been in the league for at least 5 years or 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think so.
I always felt like they'd never utilized him how you should have.
Well, when you have Nick Chubb and are like the Titans and run the
Yeah.
ball 95% of your offense, you don't really need your people aren't going to put up. Yeah, it was seriously 2 of his big catches wide open, no one around him. That first touchdown, it was like 3rd and short, 4th and short, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He just snuck off. Nobody
Yeah.
near him. Just
Long touchdown too.
yeah. Joe Flacco needs to throw the ball to Amari Cooper more. That's all I'm saying. My first bad game of the week was Stephon Diggs. 4 catches, 24 yards, 6 total fantasy points as a wide receiver 1 and a pass-heavy offense, which the pass-heavy offense this week was thrown to the running backs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You think Stephon would, with how bad Gabe Davis has been, how you need more. You need more.
He's a weird one. I mean, Diggs is a problem child. He always has been. Like he complained about Kirk Cousins, and then he went to Buffalo for someone who I think is not as a pass catcher. Would you rather take a crazy good arm or a accurate quarterback? I'd probably take the accuracy over that. I'd say Kirk Cousins is more accurate than Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Diggs is the number 1, and Adam Thielen was better than Diggs. Sorry, Diggs, but not sorry at the time. But yeah, you just need more from your number 1. Josh Allen's still good. Like he's still. I mean, he rushes so many touchdowns. He has like 10 rushing touchdowns this year. So he's
number 2 in the league at quarterback.
How many does Hurts have? 12. But doesn't he have way more passing touchdowns though?
I have no idea. Probably.
Yeah,
They throw the ball more.
Not. I don't know, dude. It's been bad in the red zone. I've watched a lot of Bills. Number 1 quarterback because he like runs. Josh Allen's weird though because he like, I don't know. That's the weirdest quarterback to watch play.
Hey, he gets pushed in by his lineman 4 yards away from the end zone.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, nice and neat. You know, that's true football. Jalen Hurts does it from a yard out. Oh, can't do anything else. You rely on your offense.
It's because like you guys could have named it anything but the tush push. Like,
no,
the
we didn't name
brotherly
it that.
shove.
We call
like
it the brotherly shove. It was called the tush push by everybody else originally because nobody had a name for it yet.
I like once they called it the love shove. Once the Packers, that's
It's
my
the
favorite.
Dude, every team is running some version of it.
People are so soft in the NFL. They're like, oh, we need to ban that.
Every
Why? 'Cause you're good at
every
it.
team runs some type of version of it.
The
on
only
the
thing that's
quarterback
not cool is I feel like Jason Kelsey lines off sides.
team. He does.
I've seen some stuff about that a little bit.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've seen some things where they talk about like they're always offsides on that play or something.
No, they called it again in the Cowboys game for an offsides, and guess whose hand it was again? It was Jason Kelsey's hand.
Mm-hmm.
But as a center, both of his hands can be lined up like that.
That's how you defeat it, though. You know, if you're gonna,
You get a bogus ref call that bails it out, basically. All right, go ahead.
That's what you need. My number 1 poor performance. Monroe St. Brown. I am a I am a St. Brown lover. Like he's someone that I always have.
Hashtag it's not his fault. Jared Goff played
He
like
dropped a lot of
yeah.
passes, dude. He was terrible. Um, so I talked about this. Actually, I talked about this to Jake Monday or Tuesday. Like once I go into drafts, like the two players that like where I feel like my wide receivers where I get the most that I feel very comfortable with. It's the Mon Ra. I mean, it's not going to be next year. It's not going to be next year. But CD Lamb previously, like where they're like borderline wide receiver ones, but they have a lot of volume and they're like the number ones in the thing. That's what I love. That's my target in fantasy football. And Amon Ra, you are failing me. You've been asked for a couple weeks now, and
He's but the weeks that he's asked are the weeks that his quarterback's been asked. So
he was asked. He dropped a
yeah,
lot of
I
passes.
know, but still, he was asked.
Yeah,
They both can be asked, but when your quarterback's asked, usually
ass is asking.
yeah, I guess. My next guy is Mike Evans. Gets over 1,000 yards. He's like, all right, I'm done, guys. One catch for 8 total yards for 1 point.
He wanted his contract. He wanted to get a contract somewhere, and he's gonna get it because
Yeah.
he still can play. And yeah, he was not so good. Baker Mayfield played really well, though. I just want to say that for
Hey,
Baker,
I don't know what Chris Godwin scored, but I saw Chris Godwin get a little bit more involved.
like 10 points.
Hey, that's more. That's more than what he's been doing.
Here's the thing: me keeping Chris Godwin was the better option than me drafting Austin Eckler or taking J.K. Dobbins because both of them were the wrong answers. He
Yeah.
was the right answer once came to that.
I know Mike Evans had a big drop this week though too.
He did.
He's
Mike Evans.
It's crazy like how good he is, but he has a lot of bad drops. Like for being a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, he has like, bottom of the barrel level drops. Like
I know. Mike Evans has a place in my heart because, like, I feel like that's how I play football. Like, like you'll be watching, you'll be like, "Damn, like Marcus is really good," and they'll be like, "Whoa, but why'd you drop that?"
yeah, well,
I didn't have very many drops though this year. Last year, I did. Oh, I did not have very many this year.
more than me. That's all I know.
Yeah, I'm leading my targets like 10 to 15 times targets.
Doesn't matter. It still drops.
Dogs are dogs. You know what I'm saying? My next one. I just hate to say this because I'm a really big Eagles guy, but DeAndre Swift, 39 rushing yards, 3 points. What a disappointment! What a disappointment!
It's not even him.
You play.
That's the sad thing. It's
Here,
like
here's what I got to say, Courtney. If you watch the pod, start Swift because he's going off against the Seahawks against your husband.
If they don't feed it, and like you look at his, I don't know how many total rushing attempts he had, but like I feel like of those 32 yards, I feel like 30 of them came from 3 rushes alone. Like he was getting, he gets 8 to 9 yards a carry.
You guys don't make sense to me, and then you start bringing in Kenneth Gainwell. Get fucking Kenneth Gainwell out of the game, dude.
Somebody was like, we should start playing Rashad Penny. I'm like, no, we don't need to. We have a viable running back.
No, you guys will, because you want to know why the Eagles are stupid. Nick Sirianni is dumb because you know what? You guys are the epitome of the team. Like, well, most of the NFL has like a committee, so let's do a committee. Once DeAndre Swift has been this year, like I don't know, probably like if you fed him the ball against that behind that offensive line, he's a top 10 running back.
He didn't get even close. Think about it. The first week he did nothing, and then the second week he pops off for 132 yards. At one point in time, he was number 2 rushing. And he played and he had one less game than everybody else.
I know
because of it. Like it.
I know you guys are dumb. Like Nick Sirianni, dude, quit playing this game where you jump back and forth with running backs. Kenneth Gainwell, stop it. He sucks, dude. He's literally like he wouldn't play for any other team, but they just like get in love with like, oh, Boston Scott. Like he kind of reminds me of a poor man's freaking Darren Sproles. Like we kind of like that. Kind of gets me.
He's just the giant killer. That's why we have him, all right? Specifically for the Giants. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
It's so dumb.
And it's not even his fault. It's because they're not giving him the ball. Like, give him the ball.
You're talking about a guy. DeAndre Swift was drafted second round, first round, like for the Lions. Like he's talented.
Yeah.
He's very talented.
Yeah.
And I love that he rocks number 0. That's awesome. But yeah, they don't do anything with him. It's really weird.
Yeah. The last couple of weeks have been weird with it. My number 3 is Jamar Chase. 3 catches, 29 yards, 5 total fantasy points.
I think that was game plan. I think their running backs are playing so well. Again, wait, how many points did Joe Mixon have? Over 20?
I don't know.
I want to say he had over 20, and Chase Brown had like 15. Like he was,
should have had more. Chase Brown's taking away his touches. Terrible.
yeah, terrible, terrible, terrible. No, yeah, it's just he'll get his.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you just use your star as a decoy, make them respect you. But still, again, it's like the Stephon Diggs. Your wide receiver one you should at least be getting 10 in a PPR league. There's no reason why 5 catches, 50 yards is not attainable. Or 10 points, just at least 10 points. I don't care. It could be 2 catches for 80 yards. It could be 8 catches for 20 yards. I don't give a shit. 10 points for wide receiver ones. Anything else than that is sad.
Speaking of 10 points, imagine being up or down by 9 points. Everyone's played. Sunday Night Football. You have, top 2 quarterback in the NFL for fantasy wise, at least. Not MVP, obviously. We don't believe that. You go in there and they play the Cowboys, and you wake up in the morning because you go to sleep because it's too late.
Yeah.
In Iowa, 10, 11. If you're on the East Coast too, imagine like watching those games till 1 in the morning. Can't do that. That's ridiculous. But you go to bed, you're like, you know what? I got this. I'm excited. 9 points. Jalen Hurts, averages 20 points, and you open your eyes and he got 8 points because he fumbled the ball and just couldn't throw touchdowns, couldn't make it happen, couldn't run the ball. Only had how many points was it? Or how many yards? 30 yard rushing yards and 1 fumble. Ugh. That's what happens. What's Jalen Hurts ruins your night.
Dude, I thought I thought his runs this week were probably some of the best runs he's had all season because they weren't like forced at like wrong times. Like they schemed it up well in terms of having because it's his quarterback draws is what it was. Usually it's like we get to the red zone. All right, we're gonna run this twice in a row.
You know what my advice for Jalen Hurts is? He's so predictable because once he's running, he tucks it. If he would just act like, and I know it's a dangerous game, but if he would just act like he's throwing, he'd probably get 4 or 5 more yards per run.
Yeah.
It was a bad game for the Eagles. Granted, great call by me saying the Cowboys would come in there. And not only did they beat him, they smacked him in the face. Game wasn't close. Without a Dak fumble, I mean, Jalen Carter had more points, more touchdowns than Jalen Hurts. Embarrassing.
Dude.
Embarrassing. Jalen Carter's a dog, though.
It's everything. Everything's been bad. Everything.
I say that I talk shit, but dude, if they win the Super Bowl this year, man.
Defense. In my head, I'm just like, 1, I'm not worried. 2, it's got to click, right? Like that's all. Something's got to click at some point, right?
All I know is Devontae Smith is always wide open, dude. You tell me he's not a wide receiver.
Yeah, because you got to worry about AJ Brown.
Dude, no, because he's the best route runner in the league. That's why you won a Heisman.
It's because you got to worry about AJ
every single time.
You got to worry about AJ Brown. You got to worry about AJ Brown. Real quick, who do you have as your fantasy MVP?
CMC. Fifth overall in fantasy points. I don't think people understand how crazy that is. It takes until Tyreek Hill's number 14 overall on fantasy points. He literally is playing in a league full of quarterbacks. Like you're talking about like Tua, you're talking about
Josh Allen,
Hurts, Dak, all those players
Lamar.
making all those. My first one is CMC. You agree?
Yeah.
Second one is Tyreek Hill, number 14 overall. Had a stellar year, probably the best wide receiver. Wherever you picked him, it was too high because he deserved to be probably number 2 overall. Next one, this was kind of a controversial one. I just kind of threw him in there. CD Lamb, man, wide receiver 21. I know that this would be a long shot, but I do feel like wherever you drafted him at, he had a very slow start. He did not pop off till like week 7, but from week 8 up, he's been crazy good. Probably better than Tyreek.
I had Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen, he's been good, but he's been so slow.
They've
lately.
been, yeah. I mean, but the thing is compared to him and CD are like within like 10 points of each other.
Yeah.
And Keenan Allen has been slowed this last couple weeks. So like,
yep.
If he wasn't, he would have been higher, I think.
My next one is Josh Allen. There was 3 people. You could have drafted Patty Mahomes or Jalen Hurts over him. The right answer is Josh Allen. He's had 2 bad weeks against New York teams where he's scored less than 10 points or whatever.
Yeah.
But other than that, dude's been solid. He is one. If you have Josh Allen, you should be in the playoffs. Then my last one is Raheem Mostert or Raheem Mustard. Dude, wherever you drafted him at, holy crap, dude. He has returned value plus some, even with Devon Achane taking a lot of that stuff once he was healthy. He's actually 17th overall in points. Has been so durable this year for some reason, once he's not a player that I would consider durable.
I put Hurts as my 5 just because Allen and Hurts got on my list solely because they're putting up those type of numbers with all the turnovers they've done. The fact that they're number 1 and 2 with all those turnovers is just it's insane to me.
They're turnover machines, but everyone talks about Allen, but dude, Hurts is.
They're both him. Like again, no quarterback's really been like, oh, hey, we can.
No,
everybody's turning the fucking ball over this year. It's crazy.
You want to? Okay, I got to give you a stat. This is for the pod. Mahomes has only scored over 20 points twice this year.
Wow. And one of those weeks was against me when he had it in the first half.
Oh, really? You played against Brooke with it?
When they played the Chargers and had like...
Did you lose to Brooke this year?
No.
Who'd you lose to this year?
My 3 losses are Rudy, Ben, and my wife.
Really? And you play her in the playoffs. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I got to break it. All right, I got to break the playoff drought.
Have you ever beat Courtney since she's been in here?
In the playoffs? No. She always beats me in the playoffs.
Have you beat her in regular season?
Yes, I beat her in the regular season, but I haven't beaten her in the playoffs.
You know, it's funny. Me and you have, it'd be a great, here's what I want. If we can just manifest this
it could happen.
You, championship game. Oh, the next person better not come to the podcast the next week.
Pay me $100 of your winnings and I'll throw the game for you.
Just so I can keep the belt, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
All right.
You heard it first. 2 drunk guys in a football podcast. Collusion is starting.
Hey, Marcus went 1-2-1 on me on the season, though. He got a win.
Oh, yeah, I did. That's right. I did. I beat Skinny this week. 1-2-1. You know what?
And then we play this weekend.
Yeah, so I could. Here's the thing. If I do this, I tie us. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. We'll see. That'll be a good. It's kind of fun that we play first round. I wish I didn't play you in my league though, because I just feel like, oh, that's gonna be a hard game. That literally could go either way.
Well, yeah, I haven't even looked at my lineup, so we'll see how it goes. All right, quarter 4.
Well, we got to chug. I know you're getting old, man, but you got to be able to chug.
What did you do on Pick'ems? I didn't write it down.
You didn't write down any pick'ems?
No, what did you do on Pick'ems last week? I didn't write
I did whatever 6 and whatever.
There was 14 games.
Yes.
15 games?
6 and 8.
15.
6 and
9.
6 and 9.
Ugh.
It was bad. It was really bad. How did Milton do?
He went 9-6.
Milton went 9-6.
Yeah, which
that puts him at number 1, doesn't it? Or no, it's tied with Robbie.
Let me go look.
I think it ties him with Robbie.
I'll find it eventually. It's in here somewhere. I write everything down. I need to get with the times and use a
Computer.
computer.
It makes a difference.
Well, I have that tablet. I could be doing the tablet too.
Did you do what our fantasy scores was? I thought you said you were gonna do it.
Oh no, I'll do it next week. Just
Next
remind
week
me.
will be the
Yeah.
first week. Okay.
Dude, when did we do this?
We literally. Oh, Rob's.
I wrote it down.
We had
somewhere.
Rob like in October.
Oh yeah, Rob went 9-6 also. So
Tied.
Melton and Rob have tied for.
Did Milton break the record for the most beers or the most drinks drank on?
I think we're tied at 6 too.
Really?
Because when he chugged at the end, he said he didn't have anything in his bottle, so he could have got the 6.5 but he didn't have anything in his bottle. So I think we're tied at 6 for guest appearances.
We just need a guest that's gonna come in here and just drink like a fish.
At Skylar Canole.
Yeah, Skylar. If you can do that, you will be on the Two Drunk Guys in a Football Hall of Fame.
All right. So Melton officially 9-6, tied for the record.
Congratulations,
Melton. Tied for the record of most beers drank, even though he was drinking liquor. And one beer, the math, I don't know. It's our bullshit math that we BS math.
We decide. It's our podcast. We decide what
we make the rules. Ugh. We're grown. We're the daddies. And we'll see if anybody ever breaks the 6.
Someone's got to break it. Did Bo not drink 6 too?
I think he drank 6. I think he's tied.
I think it's a 3-way tie.
Yeah. This week for the pick'ems, or this last week's pick'ems, were not good weeks for you or I. I went 7-8, and you went 6-9. So on the year, I'm currently 128-80, and you are 123-85.
I need a good week so I can bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest goal is do the same, if not better than you. That's all I gotta do. Stay ahead of you. Be like, hey, I get to rub it in your face. I know how to pick winning teams better than you, just a little bit.
I guess so.
But no, I mean, there's college football bowl games, but no
crazy ones,
important ones that anybody really cares about. So we're not even going to really talk about those, just because I couldn't even tell you anything about those games.
Neither could teams. Not off the top of my head.
But so let's get into our pick'ems. We got basically 17 minutes to go over these pick'ems.
And don't you worry, I gotcha.
Well, we don't have to use all 17 minutes if we don't want to.
Thursday night football, December 14th, 2023. Doug Flutie in the LA Chargers versus Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders.
I took the Raiders.
I took the Raiders too. I feel good about the Raiders.
Yeah. With Justin Herbert going out, I don't trust Easton Stick. They can't run the ball.
I feel really good about the Raiders.
I feel really good about the yes.
If Josh Jacobs play, start him.
Yeah.
They got to do something.
It'll be a good divisional game, but I think the Raiders pull it off at home.
Mm-hmm. We got some Saturday games. 3 Saturday games, actually.
Which one of them is during our Christmas party, so we're going to be able to chill downstairs in the man cave and watch some football away from the women for a little bit.
We always want to get away from the women, so
that's how it works.
Do that. Saturday, December 6th, 2023. Or December 16th, I apologize, 2023.
16th.
Randall Cunningham in the Minnesota Vikings. He's coming in ham.
Uh-huh.
Minnesota Vikings versus Carson Palmer and the Cincinnati Bengals. And you know what? I don't care. I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm going to go in. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm telling you this right now. Nick Mullins is going to lead us to victory.
All right. I'm taking the Bengals. That's
a safe pick.
Jake Browning looked way too good to be like, he might not be that good. That offense schemed to him perfectly well, and I don't trust Nick.
Joe Burrow's replacement? Question mark.
Yeah, he's done. Oh, what a mistake! They signed Joe Burrow to that big contract. Now they got to get rid of it somehow.
True.
That's gonna make her day. I hope they lose and you get sad, because then you drink more at the Christmas party Saturday night.
I always drink.
No, I need you to drink
I
more.
always drink.
I need.
See, here's the thing. How often do you get drunk?
I'm not saying you need to get drunk. I'm just saying you need to.
You want me to get you don't want me to get obnoxiously drunk at the Christmas party and ruin it?
Fuck it.
Okay. As long as you have what's it called, I'll drink it.
I have apple pie.
I'll drink.
I got like a gallon of apple pie roughly.
Only liquor I'll drink. I'll drink the apple pie. I enjoy it.
Got a lot of whiskeys and stuff too. I haven't opened.
No. Whiskey's a sipper. I'll have whiskey every once in a while just to feel like I'm bougie, but no.
There might be some other presents you might have to drink too, but
I'm not doing 99 bananas. I swear to God.
you think
it's always 99
you think I'm
bananas
that low?
every single time. Every single
We're not doing the ball game this year.
We're not doing the what?
The ball game.
The ball game?
The rap game. We're
Oh,
doing that
really?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, because I get like 1,099 bananas.
I couldn't afford it this year.
Times is rough.
The Dollar Tree went to the $1.25 tree. All right, that makes a difference. That's every 4.25 cents is one extra item that I could have had, but I don't now.
Damn you, Joe Biden! Your inflation
just terrible.
Next one is Tommy Maddox. You like that? You like that? And the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Jim Harbaugh in the Indianapolis Colts. You like that too? I bet you like that.
I took the Colts.
I took the Steelers. You want to know why? Little Austin, don't let your fucking Steelers fuck me in the ass. But I'm taking the Steelers this year.
You taking the Steelers?
I'm taking the Steelers.
Already is screwing you over, but
I'm trying to make a difference.
I took the Colts in bad betting. Got to take the Colts now.
I know you do. Jake Plummer. You remember Jake Plummer?
I remember Jake Plumer.
Jake Plumer and Jake the Snake Plummer in the Denver Broncos versus John Kitna and the Detroit Lions.
This one was a tough one for me.
Really? I thought it was too. It was kind of one of those that you want to flip a coin and decide, I'm taking the Lions.
I took the Lions specifically just because they're at home.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
If it was in Denver, I'd be leaning Broncos. But I'm really down. I'm really hoping for a bounce back game from Detroit. So
we both need it.
Yeah,
we both need it.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler in the. This is also December 17th, Sunday, December 17th. Jay Cutler and the Chicago Bears versus Deshaun Kaiser in the Cleveland Browns.
I took the Browns.
Took the Browns too. Feel like that defense got to swallow up that offense of the Bears.
Well, and if Joe Flacco continues to play maybe even a slight worse.
I might start Joe Flacco over against you. Over. I can't stop. I can't bench Baker Mayfield. But maybe I'll start him over Jordan Love. I don't know. We'll see.
Do it.
You want me to do it? Maybe I will.
I might have to play Will Levis or Zach Wilson.
Do it.
If CJ Stroud is out.
Ugh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Trent Green in the Kansas City Chiefs versus Matt Castle in the New England Patriots.
I took the Chiefs. Gonna follow my bad.
The Chiefs.
My bad betting. I'm gonna continue to follow that statement game.
Michael, I'll abuse your pit bull, Vic, and the Atlanta Falcons.
You're so fucked.
I like Mike Vick, but
he's my favorite player of all time. Of course, I like.
Oh yes, and you like pit bulls too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And
I'm not running anything in the backyard. All right.
And Jake Delhomme in the Carolina Panthers.
I took Atlanta.
Give me Atlanta. Bijan Robinson. Oh God, this is such a hard one because you have Bijan versus me, but then I have Bijan versus Milton. Bijan, give me a solid 18 points.
Same.
Don't give me like 50 because then it's screwed.
I don't know which league I'd rather win. Yours for all the money or mine for the belt and be like, hey, we're equals again.
I know. It'll be hard. I mean, you legitimately have a shot at mine, and we both have shots.
I have a shot at every league that I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm the number 1 seed in the dynasty.
I just barely didn't get into the dynasty because I did beat you, but if
And
I would have beat
yours,
Alex,
I don't know. I think my team's kind of, I don't know.
That's the thing. I feel like my team is better in your league than it is in my league. But does anyone have a good team in our league? So in my league,
I would probably say you're
Thompson and maybe J Ram, but like they're still beatable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If any team's beatable. My dad, even in our league, has 1 loss, and that was
hopefully 2
for me.
Hopefully
So
2.
yeah. Well, he's got a bye week this week, so he
He's
gets
gonna
to
lose to the bye week.
Yeah,
He just kicks out.
he's gonna pull the Minnesota Vikings and lose the bye week.
Oh, I gotta see where we're at. Okay. Josh Freeman in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Bart Starr in the Green Bay Packers.
Give me Tampa.
So I wrote this early in the morning. Can I change my overall thing right now?
Who are you gonna take?
I was gonna take Green Bay, but like I kind of want to take Tampa.
Yeah, if you want to change it, change it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to take Tampa.
You heard it here first, folks. The first switch of the year on the podcast.
I'm taking the.
What color pen did you use?
You'll be able to tell.
Okay.
I crossed out Green Bay. So.
Okay. All right.
So if I get Green Bay right, I'm taking Green Bay. You know,
fuck you.
I'm double dipping. No, I'm taking Tampa. Tampa has more to lose than Green Bay does. If they win out, they control their destiny.
Well, the other one too is they're now officially first place in the division and in the garbage division, and they looked a little bit.
Hey, I have a bet, a board bet, like a off the wall board bet with Scott, who's in our fantasy league, that Baker Mayfield would throw for over, I want to say 3,000 yards and 25 touchdowns. Baker, please, he's so close to it, dude. He's so close to it. I'm like. And he's like, he wouldn't do it. And I was like, yeah, he will, dude. Baker's like legit.
Yeah, no, I definitely see it happening.
Okay.
Go Next Tampa. One.
Tampa Bay. Hopefully they do it. So, David Carr and the Houston Texans versus Jake Locker and the Tennessee Titans.
See, this one's tough because you don't know who's playing at quarterback. I took Tennessee. If CJ Stroud does not play,
doesn't matter. Are you taking Tennessee? Is that
yes?
final?
I'm taking Tennessee. Unfortunately,
I'm taking Houston.
Davis
Mills is still
but Will Levis hasn't played bad. And they just in that Titans team just beat the Dolphins. I don't know if CJ Stroud was playing and they were all healthy, I'd feel more comfortable, but I think I'm going to go with the Titans.
Okay. I hope you're wrong, but
I hope you're wrong. All right.
I bet you do. Mark, I'm going to fumble with my butt, Sanchez, in the New York Jets, Jets versus. I didn't believe it, but Jay Cutler's starting for 2 teams. And he's starting for Miami Dolphins.
I took Miami.
You took Miami? I took Miami too. There ain't no way.
After that terrible loss, I think.
Ain't no way.
I think they'll come back.
Mm-hmm. Kerry Collins. You like that name? You like that? And the New York Giants versus Aaron Brooks. You remember Aaron Brooks?
Who'd you take?
And the New Orleans Saints. I took the Saints. You took the Giants?
I took the Giants.
Wow.
Dude,
You've been waiting to say this. I could tell by your...
Derek Carr has not looked very good. I know he's injured, but fuck it, man. The Giants looked good last night. Their offense looked good. Their defense is playing better.
I'm manifesting this. Derek Carr throws 3 touchdowns this game. You heard it. If this happens, you heard it first. Bet on
Dude,
this.
I've wanted Derek Carr to play good all season, but like it's just been so sad and depressing. And
He hasn't really been. Remember, because we were like, I was like, Jimmy Garoppolo really isn't that far off from Derek Carr. Yeah, you probably won that, but did you? Like it's like Derek Carr sucked, but Jimmy Garoppolo is going to throw 3 touchdowns, 2 to Chris Olave.
be
You heard it
interesting.
first. That happens. I want to manifest that because I need that. But I took the Saints. We'll see. That'll be a fun one. See who wins. Donovan McNabb in the Washington Commanders versus Mark Brunell Mark Bulger in the LA Rams.
Who'd you take on this one?
Took the Rams.
Okay, I did too.
Dude, the Rams have like a top 5 offense.
Yeah, I almost took the Commanders. Just like, all right, come on, they got it. But their defense is not going to be able to stop the Rams' offense.
Dude, the Commanders probably will win.
Their defense has been so bad. It's like, the Rams' offense is
All
just.
I gotta say, if I've been right about anything, Emmanuel Forbes sucks ass.
Yeah,
He's way too little. Play
yeah.
TV in the NFL.
The Rams' offense is too good until they play a above average defense or even average defense. You're fucked. When you got the bottom of the barrel, I expect Cooper Cup. The problem is, again, I play my wife who has
Cooper Cup and
Puka and Cooper Cup, so no
And
matter.
you play me who has Puka.
Yeah, so whoever the fuck goes off on that game, even if they both go off, I'm kind of fucked there. Fuck it, I guess.
Tim Rattay in the San Francisco 49ers versus Josh McCown in the Arizona Cardinals.
Taking the Niners.
I'm taking the Niners too. Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys versus Case Keenum in the Buffalo Bills. Why don't you go first?
I took the Bills.
I took the Bills too.
I'm riding with Buffalo.
No, I'm taking it too. Buffalo needs it more than Dallas
Yep.
needs it.
100%.
I feel like they're going to come in there playing hard.
Well, and you just beat the Chiefs. Cowboys. The Cowboys.
Josh Allen, 30 plus points.
Josh Allen is going to have a total touchdown game.
4 touchdowns. That right there. That's 16 points. What else? How many rushing yards do you think he's going to... Wait.
I'm going to go over 45.
Oh, that's 4 right there. We're talking about 20. How many passing yards?
He'll probably go for like 321.
321. Any turnovers?
That's another 12. Probably have... No, I'm going to go a clean game. No turnovers. No turnovers.
32 points. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I took the Buffalo Bills as well. So Steve Air McNair in the Baltimore Ravens. I bet you don't even remember that he played for the Ravens.
No, I do. There's like a photo of him. I think he's
2008.
like doing this, like pointing up or something in a Baltimore jersey.
2008 he played for him. Versus David Garrod.
Or maybe it's his right hand. I don't know.
David Garrod, who has AIDS. Did you know David Garrod has AIDS?
I did not know he had AIDS.
Yeah, he has AIDS. That's crazy that
You
David
have
Garrod...
AIDS. Yes, you have AIDS, not HIV.
Is David
but-
Garrod the best Jacksonville Jaguar quarterback of all time?
Dude, Blake Bortles, what do you mean?
No, dude. David Garrod's better. He's got AIDS and he was a better quarterback. And I'm not talking about AIDS like people that help you either. So
I took Baltimore.
I took Baltimore as well.
Jesus Christ.
Monday, December 18th.
The flex game. Think about this. The Pats are playing so bad that the Chiefs and Pats game got flexed out of Monday Night Football.
Crazy. I'm okay with that though. Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Eagles. I gave you a good one. I gave you a good quarterback. Versus.
Why not Jeff Garcia, bro?
Did he play for you guys?
No.
No, I don't think so. I should have said, what's his face? Doug Peterson.
There you go.
Doug Peterson played quarterback for you.
Yeah, I know.
I could have gone a couple ways with that. Mike Vick. Who was that one guy you guys had that played for the Cardinals?
Sam Bradford, just like you.
No, Cardinals. No, not Sam Bradford. Not Sam. It wasn't Nick Foles.
Like how?
He was a Cardinal starting quarterback. He competed with Mike Vick. What is his name? Think about it. I gotta look this up.
He competed with Mike Vick, so it would have been like 2010 to 2015.
Yeah, it wasn't Nick Foles.
2000. Those are the years I want to forget, man. Those are the Chip Kelly years. Nobody wants to remember those. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Oh God. Kevin Cobb.
Kevin Cobb. Ooh.
Kevin Cobb. That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, I took the Eagles. I'm gonna take the Eagles every week. Again, I don't both do that, I think.
Fly, Eagles, fly. I take the Eagles. I took the Eagles.
You doing this and going caca doesn't help. They're both birds.
Caca. Fly, Eagles, fly. I took the Eagles versus the Seattle Seahawks and Matthew Stafford back. Or Matthew Stafford.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Staffelback.
This is what happens when we don't have like, hey, check our shit. Like, you know, like New Heights. They got people that do all their research for them. They'll be like, hey, check this, and then somebody pulls it up for them. We don't have that.
Be just like Joe Rogan. Jamie, check this out.
Yeah. We don't have a fact checker. We should probably get one. Just somebody that's on standby. Just hey,
someone's got to count our beers. Someone's got to do all that stuff because
I think
we got like 30 some views. Who cares? We're just having fun.
Oh, man. My dad yesterday, funny story. My dad comes over yesterday and is like, you should get a famous person on your podcast. And I'm like, who the fuck is going to want to come onto a podcast with 38 YouTube subscribers with two random dudes from Iowa?
Shout out to Mark. I hope Mark wins the championship belt this year. Because he thinks that highly of us that we could get someone.
I guess. I was like, the closest thing we ever had was some D1 student college athletes in football. I was like,
yeah.
It's not like they were big name D1 student at like college athletes.
You know what? Any NFL players that are out there watching our podcast, if you want to,
do I just need to start adding at like Kirk Cousins, Jason Kelsey, be on our show.
We need Laquan Treadwell.
Oh my goodness,
dude! Wouldn't that be a great podcast like Laquan? Do you remember once I asked you what your name was and you said I'm busy?
May 12th, 2018.
Yeah, 2018. Let me tell you too. I had to be the only motherfucker in Minnesota to recognize him. One, and two. He was playing $25 blackjack. What a cheap bastard. He was a first-round pick. I could play $25 a hand blackjack and fucking afford it. This man's a multi-millionaire.
How do you stay rich? You don't spend a whole lot of money.
You're damn right.
Hey, the lady he was with probably was like, damn, $25 a hand. Look at you while we're over there playing.
That's his wife. He's been with her for a long time. I know because it's Snapchat. I remember. I took him off though.
He was the biggest Laquan Treadwell fan until that day.
I was. Terrible. He broke his leg like I broke my leg. He had that crazy one-handed catch versus the Packers, and then you know what he did?
Big shout out to my mama. My mama's birthday's on Friday. Shout out, mama.
Shout out to mama. Happy birthday.
I don't even know. She watches the pod every now and then, so I don't if she's made it this far. I'm impressed. She hates football, so that's what's crazy to me. My mother hates football, but she at least watches the pod. And my sister. My sister's only gotten into it because of Taylor Swift, but like my sister even watches the pod.
You know, Maggie, Taylor Swift is a great woman.
But all right, make sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio,
Yep.
the X. Got it right this time.
Yep. Right.
Insta. We got Facebook group.
You know, I just don't understand why people aren't watching the hottest podcast, the hottest fantasy or football podcast in Iowa. That's all
Yeah,
I
the
know.
hottest, the
The
hottest,
hottest,
the
hottest.
hottest. Yeah, spread the word to end the word.
Damn right. Like and subscribe, baby girl.